Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese. This is their part number DB597DP. This is a door bottom, is what it is. This is a door bottom that incorporates a pile on the bottom and a drip cap. So it's a really high quality capable sort of piece of equipment that you're going to use to great effect at not only sealing the bottom of the door with a very soft insert, a very short insert that may be very appropriate for your specific floor condition. You might just want something to very elegantly, in a very petite fashion, make contact with your floor. Okay, you may have a, this is going to a residential application. So why you would want pile could very likely be because you want to not mark up the floor very much. You could have a side door of your home, like the kitchen door that maybe leads to the driveway. Well, that door is going to swing in, but it's still an exterior door, and it might be pretty blunt to the face or flush to the face of a brick wall, let's say. There may not be an awning over it. You have possibly seen the effectiveness of drip caps, but you also have a finished wood floor. You have an in-swing application, and you really don't want a door sweep making contact with anything, because a typical door sweep made of vinyl or neoprene or silicone or polyurethane or bristle is going to be a bit more abrasive than a very soft pile. Not that this will not mark a floor over time, but there's nothing that's going to be considered really less abrasive than this. Okay, so that could be where you're using it. I don't know where this client's using it, but you know, that's kind of where I would think to use a pile. This is going to be for an 1 3/4 thick door, and there is a image down below this video showing the important dimensional properties. This is going to they don't give us a height of the pile. So from where the door is going to sit, and depending on your construction, you're about 7/16. So I would want to be right in that range. I would not want to be any tighter than 3/8. But the construction of your door might take, there are residential door constructions that require this sort of grooving on the bottom of it. So this might be what your door requires. From that area there, you're about 1/4 inch. The projection of the drip cap from the face of the door, that's about 1/2 inch. Drip caps are incredibly effective at helping push any moisture from the face of the door away. Right out here. And drip caps are used at the bottom of the door in conjunction with a door bottom. Drip caps are also used over the header of an opening, and those are generally a 2.5 inch projection. You don't see those in residential applications often. Commercial applications is where you'll see them. But I'll tell you, people that make a living installing doors and hardware, once they get turned onto drip caps, they then, moving forward, and consider them a mandatory part of the weather stripping package for a door because they're so effective. I've solved problems for clients by just getting them a drip cap when there's been the intrusion of water in an incredibly mysterious fashion. How is it that the carpeting is getting wet during a rainstorm? The roofers come, the roof is good. The masons come, the wall is good. The door installers come, the door is good. It gets in there somehow. They throw a drip cap up over above and down below, problem solved. Literally, problem solved. Not that yours will be, but I have seen drip caps used to such great effect that I don't need to know the science behind how they're working and how they're stopping the water. I just know that they work. I can tell you that the drip cap at the header is probably solving the problem in that it drives the water away so far, and it's curved, so the water's not going to work back up over that curve. to get to the underside of the header to the top of the door, where it can then drip into the top of the door all the way down the door, corroding the door all the way down, pooling in the bottom of the door, getting on that carpeting one micro drip at a time. That's probably how it works, because you're really covering up the seam. And here in southern Florida, it rains this way, doesn't it? Well, here in Florida, it can rain this way too, and many other places. So we're really looking to help mitigate intrusion of water as much as possible. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, where you will be able to review the other door bottoms that are similar to this from Reese. There are variations. There are options. The 597 is going to be at the bottom of that page and is different than the 590 in the sense that it incorporates that drip cap. The door extenders are there, I think, really to help cheat the dimension. You might have too much space underneath the door, and you might need to drop that bottom down. Well, those door extenders are going to allow you to rest that. And when you open the door and look at the bottom, you'll see that hollow channel, but it's 3/16 at the most. So it's very small. The other units that are there are going to feature vinyl. They're going to feature polyurethane. Polyurethane is one of the insert types championed by Reese. They have more offerings of polyurethane, I think, than anyone. There is someone who does a lot of polyurethane as well. But I have a video in the site on the video gallery page that I talk about the different insert types, the neoprenes, the silicones, the vinyls, the piles, the bristles, the polyurethanes, and talk about the distinguishing factor of all of them. And polyurethane, since we're talking about it, is incredibly abrasion resistant, tear resistant, mildew, fungus, mold resistant, UV resistant. Pile is going to be for those applications where you need to make a very petite and soft sort of contact with something. Pile is very effective. You'll see it installed in applications of pairs of aluminum doors in the edge. I have been told by people that pile is used along with bristle because it helps stop the intrusion of insects. Apparently there's something about the structure of that stuff that they just don't like, probably the irregular surface. So it's used liberally in those cases. And should this fatigue and fail on you eventually, or at least fatigue the pile, that is, Reese can certainly sell us replacement pile only. If you don't need pile, you're going to be looking at vinyl, and if you in vinyl only if cost is most important. But if quality is most important and you're not using a pile, go straight to polyurethane. This is available on the site in the A. So you got a DB door bottom, 597. Well, that's this profile. Then you've got the letter D. You can do A, C, D, and G. Mill aluminum for A, clear anodized for C, dark bronze for D, G for gold anodized. Okay, listed, and then the P, of course, is pile. If you change the P to U, you're going to get your polyurethane. Not in a 597. You'd get a different. There needs to be a half bubble sort of situation. Listed in the site in lots of different lengths. If you have need for a custom length, by all means, let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. The reasoning is if you had to take this 3-foot piece and cut it down to, say, 30-inch, which you might in a residential application, you're going to eliminate that slotted hole. The next one is all the way over here, and it's hard to drill a slotted hole once you chop that off. Slotted holes are nice because they're going to help account for a floor that's not level, or a door that's not plumb, okay, or jambs that are twisted somehow. Older construction and homes are not going to be square and plumb, period. It also helps compensate when you're pre-drilling that hole for the screws, and the screws are included. That drill bit walking a little bit, whether you're drilling into steel, wood, fiberglass, stainless, bronze, aluminum, whatever you're drilling into. If you've not used a center punch, that drill bit might walk a little. And you really want that real tiny amount of adjustment to be able to get that on there. The point of the matter is if you order a custom length by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field the length that you'd like for us to cut the material back to, that's how we'll supply it. A drip cap, if you're installing it on an exterior door that swings out, you won't have to notch the drip cap. But if you're installing it on an exterior door that swings in, you're probably going to have to notch it back a little bit. So be mindful of that. Reese can notch this material for you. There is a charge for that. We don't have that currently listed in the site, but feel free to reach out to us and we'll price it up for that notching purpose. And then we just need to know how far the notch goes back. Is it on both sides of the door, etc., or both ends of the unit? Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Reese products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I'm quite partial to Reese, and it's because they're a no-nonsense, high-quality, quick shipping company that produces weather stripping faster than anyone. Their standard lead time would be unapproachable from other manufacturers, even on their best day. So why is that important? Well, you may never have heard of Reese. If you've asked for another brand, we may recommend it. And we may recommend it because we know that, there's an old friend of mine who had a saying that was, Chicago wasn't built on a 6-week lead time, meaning everything is now, right now. And Reese can help accommodate that with very industry-leading lead times. But their quality is so incredibly high. Their extrusion thicknesses just seem thicker than everybody else's. And when you get a threshold, especially their thresholds, you say to yourself, my reaction is, gosh, this is heavier than other people's thresholds. And it's because it is. And it's because the extrusion thickness is greater. And all that stuff combined puts us into a position where we can wholeheartedly recommend Reese. And the only time you don't really do Reese is when you have a specification that's been approved, no substitutions. You can't go back and ask for an alternate or ask for a review because that's just how it is. And in those cases, you don't end up selling Reese, but well, you may not also end up selling Reese's because their catalog might be 30 pages long or 40, whereas others are 100 or 300 pages long. So their footprint is considerably more petite, but when it comes to a lot of stuff, they're going to handle 90% or more of everything that you're going to do. Any questions on the DB597DP or any other Reese product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.